Hello and welcome to the Stash-down Diaries, a much overdue episode of the Stash-down Diaries, I should say. Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. Where have I been? So 2 weekends ago, I was training with Search and Rescue, the group that I'm a part of here. And then last weekend I was working and I was gonna record like before work, but then I had to go to work early and then I was just really tired. So I'm like, it's fine. We'll just record on the next weekend and just have a really robust episode, which this is. I have quite a few projects to talk about. So it's like an episode that's like a nice full-bodied old Vine Zinfandel, you know? If you know, you know. So that's where I've been. Another thing is that since the last episode, I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome. I didn't actually think that was going to happen. I started this as a way to talk about knitting because I lost the local yarn shop closed, and so I lost that like little community of knitters to talk about knitting with. So, and there's nobody in my life who also knits. So it's just been great to talk about my knitting and get that feedback. And it's just crazy to me that 1,000 or more than 1,000 of you want to have that back and forth with me. So I'm going to pledge right now that I am going to respond to my comments in a more timely manner. What happens is I get the notification on my email and then I read the email and I'm like, I'll respond to it later, but then sometimes I don't get around to it because, you know, squirrel. But I'm going to designate the time over my morning tea to check out my comments and respond to them because, yeah, it's just not good that I'm not doing that in a timely manner. I usually eventually respond to them, but I just want to be quicker, you know? So anyway, thank you, those of you who are here. So I've managed to hit like the monetization threshold, so you might see ads now, and if you can, you know, watch those ads to help me out a little bit, I might be able to fund a higher quality channel or something if I get a little bit of extra money. I don't know. But anyway, I've decided that I will do the Stash-down update next weekend and talk about my knitting plans next weekend because this episode is already going to be fairly full, and I don't know with like the following week of knitting how much knitting I'm going to get done, so I might not have as much to talk about next weekend. So we'll do the other stuff next weekend to beef up that episode a little bit. So I guess I will get into socks because that is where my finished the objects are category that they're in. So okay, so the first pair of socks that I have to talk about are my Opal Monet socks. These are all finished, the ends are woven in, but I have to still give them a little block and cut the ends. But here they are, and this is the textured socks 3 more ways. That is the pattern name. So you get 3 different textured sock patterns, and it is by Dana Rae Makes. And yeah, this is the Opal Monet yarn. I can't remember the colorway number or the picture that's inspired by it, but there it is. And I've had this yarn in my stash for a while. I remember I got it when I was visiting my sister a number of years ago. She lives in Ontario. So yeah, this is an older yarn that I'm happy to get out of my stash. Cast on 56 stitches, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about those, but there are socks. And so it's nice to have another gift knit done. The other pair of finished socks, again, all the ends are woven in. They just need to be cut after a nice block. My cats are wilding out right now, out in the hallway. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah. So anyway, these ones are for me. These are also a pattern by Dana Rae Makes. They're called the Corn Maze Socks. And they are very Lisa Frankie. The solid colors, 2 of them are opal. This is opal turquoise, and I don't know the name of the natural color. It's just natural. And this one is Drops Fabble, this orange. And then the beautiful variegated yarn is Windswept Fibers from Newfoundland. And the colorway is Sail Away. Or Come Sail Away? I think it's just Sail Away. But it is absolutely gorgeous. And the thing that makes me really happy, do I have it handy? Okay, apparently I left a bunch of stuff on the staircase that I was supposed to bring up here with me. And this is one of them. So the thing that makes me happy is that there's enough yarn here for me to knit a pair of socks for one of the littles in my life. So they're gonna get a really fun pair of variegated socks. So yay. I think I mentioned this is by Dana Rae Makes as well. So the 2 finished pairs of socks that I made are by Dana Rae Makes. She's a Canadian designer who I am becoming very well acquainted with her patterns because they're all excellent. I have like a couple more in my queue. I have a couple more of the textured ones to do in that pattern, and I think I have the original textured socks 3 ways pattern, so I do love a good textured sock. So yeah, that is those. Very happy with these. So they're going to need to get weighed and then blocked, and that'll be that. Sometimes with my sock knitting, I become a little bit impulsive. I just randomly cast on these little shorties out of some leftover yarn. This yarn was used for my boxy sweater that I knit some time ago. And it is the Bramble Berries pattern by This Handmade Life, who's another one whose patterns I'm getting acquainted with. She has some excellent free patterns. This one was paid for, but she does have excellent free patterns. One thing I will say is that if you're a beginner sock knitter, there's like a little bit of information left out of the pattern. I knit heels on autopilot now because I've knit so many socks over the years that it didn't impede me, but she didn't have like how many rows to do for each size when you're doing the heel flap. It's not a big deal. It's something that's easily looked up for that stitch count. But I could see how it might be frustrating for somebody who's new to sock knitting. So the pattern, I did 1 repeat before starting the heel. Some, like the sample on the pattern has you start the heel right away, but I wanted a little bit more leg, just a tiny bit more for this one. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned the colorway of the yarn. It's Tranquility. I don't think you can get Zen Yarn Garden anymore, which is a shame because it was one of my favorites. I still have some in my stash that I will knit up. But anyway, yeah, so I have the 1 sock finished for that one. And I needed like a mindless sock project, so I just cast on this opal one. And I don't know what pattern it's going to be yet. I have finished the cuff. I did 20 rows. This is 64 stitches. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for the pattern yet. I don't know if it's going to be a vanilla sock. I don't know if I'm going to do simple skip socks or just something ribbed. I'm leaning towards just something ribbed, like maybe a 6x2 rib or something, just to give it a little something something. But this yarn is from the Opal's Beauty collection. I think I actually have the colorway name here. Yeah, the number is 1115 and it's called Weather Peak. Yeah, Weather Peak. But it's really pretty. So these are going to be a gift pair of socks for somebody. So yeah, that is all I did with those. But I also did not just actual socks, but I noticed that I'm a little behind on my Tiny Tree Socks advent calendar. So I knitted, I'm supposed to do 2 socks a month, and I hadn't done, I think it was May or June. So I grabbed one of the balls of yarn in my Tiny Tree sock bag and knitted 4. So May and June is done. I still have to do July, August, September, October, November, December, I think. I think I have that wrong because I think it's 2 balls of yarn that I have to knit. I have to knit 8 more socks. So anyway, these are the ones that I knit. So this pattern is called Tiny Tree Socks, and it is by Summer Lee, who is a very enjoyable sock designer. I've knit a few or a couple of her patterns, I think 2, but I bought a lot of them, so I'm gonna have to dig in more to her into her patterns. But the idea here for me is that I'm doing an advent calendar. So if I do 2 socks a month, and I had the 2 for December previously done, so I did like 6, yeah, 1 month I did like 6 socks, but now I'm behind, so it doesn't really matter. I have to have it done before December 1st, and I did order on Etsy from a shop that makes the little number tags. So those are actually they were just dispatched in the mail like yesterday. So I will have those, and I will tag them, and I will do an I-cord, I think. Either do an I-cord or, yeah, I'll do an I-cord because that'll use up more yarn. And you know what? I live for using up more yarn. Yeah, and then I'll string some little fairy lights with them and put them on my mantle downstairs and get chocolates to put in them. And I think what I'll do with the tag is that the tag will be tucked on the inside starting out, and then as each day goes, I'll flip the tag out or whatever, or I'll hide the tag behind the sock and then put it in the front or something. We'll see how it sits on the rope and the mantle and everything, and that'll be lovely. So this poor pattern, I completely forgot about it, and now I have to catch up. So I'll probably do another one this week. I want to do this yarn. I actually misplaced this yarn. This is Fleece Artist in Father Christmas colorway, I think. It's cottage socks. So I made Christmas socks out of this before. And yeah, they are going to be the next 4 little socks. So that is it for my section on socks. Let's talk about Saltwater Mittens. Okay, so I'm a little bit discombobulated. I don't remember why I finished in the last episode when it comes to my salt and pepper socks. So my salt and pepper socks are out of Saltwater Gifts. This book right here. So I have it clipped. So here they are, salt and pepper mitts. And if you watched the last video where I talked about these, I have a basket of yarn that I'm going to be using for salt and pepper mittens. And here is one of the colorways that I have. So I don't think I had finished this mitten the last time. I think I still needed to do the top. But I made this one a little bit bigger than the first mitt that I did, which is this one. I made it just a little bit bigger. I went up a needle size for the body of the mitt, and I knitted it a little bit longer. And yeah, so I'm going to have a little array of these, whether to donate or sell, but most likely donate. I want to have a few. I think around Christmas time, people do like mitten trees and stuff. So we have a lot of international students here that might need mittens. And it's always been my habit to knit hats to donate. I've been a little slack in knitting mittens, but people need mittens too, especially where it's so damp here. I'm in Cape Breton, which is in Atlantic Canada. So we're surrounded by ocean, and it's very damp cold in the wintertime. So, but I do love it here. So anyway, yeah, so I think I knitted the top of this, and then now I have a cuff of the second one of these. I think that's finished. No, I might need to do a couple more rows. There was a point where I thought I was finished knitting the cuff, but then I counted it and compared it to this one, and I was like, oh, I need 5 more rows. Can't remember if I knit those 5 more rows yet or not. No idea. And then I started this one. Everything's just like such a hot mess here. Oh my. Okay, summer is almost over. It's still hot, but fall is my time to shine every year. It's like soup season, and it's just more comfortable weather-wise, so I get more done in the fall. So I'm not going to be as much of a hot mess next week, I promise. But anyway, so the colors used, this one is bleached white, and I always forget which red this is. Yeah, red BWO. And these, of course, are Briggs & Little Heritage, which is a yarn that I knit with quite frequently, because Briggs & Little Woolen Mill is just in the neighboring province of New Brunswick and only like an hour away from my brother's house. So when I visit him, I usually go to Briggs & Little. But okay, so that's that one. And then this one is Navy and then Northern Sky. And you might know the Saga of Northern Sky, maybe not. I got it at Deanne Fitzpatrick's studio because it is one of her exclusive colorways. And when I ordered it online, it came in looking completely different, and it turned out that there were 2 versions. So because the one that came in the mail, I had 2 skeins of, I used it for I had to frog back my fire season blanket and restart it with the new skeins of Northern Sky, which is actually, I like that version of Northern Sky better than this one, really. But yeah, so anyway, there's 2 versions. I'm probably going to go to Deanne Fitzpatrick's studio in like 2 weeks time, because I'm going to Amherst. Well, I'm going to the Valley to go on a wine bus tour with my sister-in-law, and I made a reservation at a like cheapo hotel in Truro so I can go up a day early and go to Amherst and go to the bookstore there that I'm a little bit obsessed with, and I can also go to Deanne Fitzpatrick's studio and get more yarn for, well, really it's for my fire season blanket, but as you're going to see in a minute, I've become kind of obsessed with one of the colorways that she has. So it is another Saltwater Stash-down project. This one is out of Saltwater Classics, and it is the Streely Made mitts, which I knit a bunch of last year or the year before. It was the year before, and yeah, it was the year before, and gave them to a few people for Christmas, but here they are. And I just became obsessed with this color combo. All right, here it is. There's cat fuzz everywhere. Okay, cat glitter. Yeah, I love this colorway combo. I was gonna make these and put them in the fair, the local fair, but I didn't finish them on time. So, and timing wise, it's like for some reason it never works out for me to get to the fair to submit things during the time window that they have it. It just never works out. So anyway, but like these are going to be mine because look at this color combination. So this is a Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio exclusive colorway. It is called Folly Mountain Spruce. It's one that I've been using in my fire season blanket, and I absolutely love it. This one, dark maroon. If you are a frequent user of Briggs & Little, you might recognize this one because it is a regular color. It goes great with a lot of things. I really like it. And then this is oatmeal, which is another regular Briggs & Little colorway. So yeah, I finished one mitt, and then I finished the cuff on the second mish. Yeah, it was unfortunate I was so busy this past week. Did not get these done in time, but anyway, I'm going to enjoy them. They're going to be excellent. So that is my saltwater stash down stuff. And I have one last thing to talk about. It's time for my fire season blanket. You're probably wondering where it is, and so this is how much I got done since the last video, right down to little headwig here. And yeah, as you can see, okay, wait, I'm trying to think what month that is. That's July. Yeah, so this is August, so I'm starting to catch up. No, that's not July and August. That's June and July. So this right here above the white line here, that's August. Now I'm second guessing myself because I know I'm not into September. I know that. So yeah, so this is July and this is August. So July had a lot of high fire weather indices. So if you're new here, you haven't seen this before, this is like a temperature blanket, except I'm using the fire weather index and I'm using the highest one for Cape Breton that day. We have 5 weather stations, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. So those 6 stations, I choose whichever one has the highest reading for that day. And I have 6 colors, so I use a white to delineate between the months. This is the low index for blue. Oh, I use dark maroon for 0 because I just wanted to add another color in, and also I didn't want the start of the season to be all blue, which it would have been if I didn't use that color for 0. And then we had some, so this is high. I should tell you the colorway names, right? Okay, so this is the original Northern Sky that I was talking about earlier. This is Folly Mountain Spruce, which is also in the mittens. Because I put it in the mittens, I have to buy more for the blanket. But, you know, that's fine. I love that colorway. I actually want to knit a sweater out of it. I kind of have one picked out, but we'll talk about that next week. But anyway, this is gold. So this is a regular offering from Briggs & Little, and then this color, this pink right here, is coral, and it is a D.M. Fitzpatrick exclusive colorway. And then we only had extreme fire weather once. Look at that, just that one time. And this is light maroon. That's another favorite of mine from Briggs & Little. So yeah, it's all Briggs & Little heritage. The pattern is a free one. It is Garter Chevron Blanket by Catherine Anderson. So you can find that on Ravelry. I really love chevron. It's really pretty. Love like chevron. Is it Massimo or Missoni or Missoni or something like that? I think it's like Missoni or something that does like the pretty chevron clothing. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit because like the changes in thickness of the stripes. But anyway, we're getting down towards the end of fire season. There's only a month and a week left, something like that. Yeah, a month and a week. And so I really need to catch up. I am catching up because there was a while there where I didn't have the yarn that I needed to continue. So I had to go to D.M. Fitzpatrick and get the yarn, and that was in July. So I'm starting to catch up. But there it is. Anyway, so I think that's all I have to talk about. I think I'm going to, well, I am going to Tracy's tomorrow for sock yarn, as long as the cruise ship doesn't get canceled, because she's down at the port like every day this month. And I was gonna go to Woolstock East in Port Hawkesbury. Oh my goodness, I can't think right now. New Glasgow. It's in New Glasgow. But I had to kind of make a decision because I'm already going to the valley and everything. And so there's going to be also the day before I go to the valley, I'm going to Tracy's to hopefully meet a bunch of yarn dyers and stuff. So it's the day that the grocery girls come to the port of Sydney off the cruise ship that they're doing a cruise. So yeah, I had to make a decision because like the valley and all that stuff, I want to go apple picking, I want to go to Gaspereau Valley Fibers, I want to go to the Rainbow's End, which is like a used bookstore slash collectibles store that I love. So it was like Woolstock just wasn't in the budget this year, and plus I'm potentially meeting a bunch of people that I wanted to meet at Woolstock at the port. So yeah, nobody's really announced yet who's coming. So I think Tracy is at some point going to announce who's coming. So if you're in the area, it is on the 18th on Wednesday. So if you're in Cape Breton and you want to go see Tracy, meet the grocery girls, and then like other people that are yarn dyers and stuff, yeah, that is the day. So all that to say, yeah, no Woolstock East this year. And I'm so busy and I'm so tired. But it's a good tired. Okay, so that is it for me for today. Thank you, the over 1,000 of you who subscribed. If you have not subscribed yet and you enjoyed what you watched, please subscribe. And yeah, like the video. It gives me a little bit of traction. And don't forget to comment below because I will respond in a timely fashion. Until next week, take care.